Hey guys, welcome to episode. Okay, I got it wrong last week, and I was really confident when I got it wrong last week, so I'm gonna try to. Okay, Gianna, can you help me out? Is it 42 or 43?
Hmm. Well, there is an answer to that question.
Are you
It
looking it up?
is 44.
It's 44. Okay, episode 44
Oh.
of Teens and Faith Catholic Conversations. I'm your host, Annie, and I'm joined by my co host, Gianna.
Hey, what's up?
So before we get into this episode, we wanted to start off with our prayers. O Saint Philomena, Virgin and Martyr, pray for us that, through thy most powerful intercession, we may obtain that purity of mind and heart which leads us to the perfect love of God. Amen. And now the prayer to the Holy Ghost. Come, Holy Ghost, fill the hearts of thy faithful and kindle in them the fire of thy love.
Thy spirit, and they shall be created.
And thou shalt renew the face of the earth. Let us pray. O God, who hast taught the hearts of the faithful by the light of the Holy Ghost, grant that by the gift of the same Spirit we may be always truly wise and ever rejoice in his consolation through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
So, Gianna, what do we have coming up this episode?
This episode, we will be interviewing Lucia. And yes. Yeah. See, okay, that was the problem I was having during the interview, too. Usually, when I get nervous for something, or just like all the time, I always end a sentence like I'm about to keep going with it, and I don't keep going with it.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try working on that.
Yeah.
So, what have you been up to, Annie?
Um, before I go into my life, I just wanted to say Happy Pentecost. Pentecost is going to be on this Sunday, which is absolutely bananas. Very excited. Um, and then there was something else. Also, Happy June, everybody. It is officially, I consider like May is not like quite summer, May's still like spring, but then when like June hits, I'm like, oh yeah, it's summer party time, baby. But yeah, Happy June, happy month of the Sacred Heart. So, yes. Anyways, I have not been up to much. Summer work started, so I guess was there anything else? I already talked about my new car. Yeah, I officially got my car, but yeah, so that's what I've been up to. What have you been up to lately, Gianna?
As usual, trying to not end it in something. All right. Okay, here's one story. So, this new thing that I have every Tuesday night is like I have to cook dinner for my family, and that's like kind of like my home ec class, I guess. Um, so I have to like come up with the idea and then actually cook it. And for anyone who has actually cooked a family dinner before or just like cooked anything, the hardest part is just coming up with the idea. It's not even
Yes.
that hard to cook it. It's just coming up with the stupid idea. So that always takes forever. And I don't know. One time I actually like I couldn't figure out anything to eat, and then plus my family had to go somewhere like during dinner time, so I'm like, okay, well they're gonna need something like really quickly, because it's like during the dinner hours. So I was like, oh, why don't I just make sandwiches? That should be easy. I'm like, oh, and then everyone can like assemble their own thing. And my dad's like, well, you still have to do the work because that's part of the whole thing here. I'm like, all right, then I'll assemble your sandwiches for you, and you tell me what you want on them. And then my mom was giving out other ideas, and my dad's like, oh, wait, do this and that and that, and like, oh, what if you brought out the Foreman grill and then you put the sandwiches on there? And then they're like, oh, well, you should add this in. I'm like, I just wanted to do simple sandwich. That's all I wanted. But now I have to do all this. And then, okay, so obviously I love my parents, but so then I was trying to make the dinner. And the one thing that, okay, so I don't really have any experience like really cooking anything.
Mhm.
This is like more like my first time doing any of this. So I didn't know like exactly because they wanted bacon on their sandwiches, okay? So then they were like, okay, my dad, so I was asking my dad, and I was like, okay, well, how long do you have to put the bacon in the oven or whatever? And he's like, okay, like do it to this number, like, but first heat it and everything. And then he's like, okay, and just call me when you want to lay out the bacon strips, because like I'll show you how to do that. I'm like, okay, I just needed to know how long it needed to be put in there. I don't need to know how to put the bacon strips on the piece of parchment paper. But then he was like, like I know how to lay out bacon. It's not that hard. But then, yeah, so I don't know. My dad was like, "Oh, just call me like once you're ready." I'm like, "I know how to do it. It's fine." So then I was doing other stuff, and then I was cutting up a bunch of stuff. I had to throw it out, and the garbage was full. And so I went out to take the garbage out. I was already annoyed with a bunch of different things. Then I come back in, and my mom had already put the bacon in the oven for me and laid out all the bacon. So I was like, "Why did you do that? I can do it fine." But anyway, it was fine. It
That's
worked
funny.
out fine. And then my dad came in and he's like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna tell me when you were gonna lay the bacon out." I'm like, "I was about to. I didn't have the opportunity to. You keep doing stuff for me." It was just weird. Um, but
Wow.
there's
Yeah,
that for you.
that's funny. Wow. I've had to cook dinner a couple times. Like one time I was so annoyed this night because it was like -8 degrees outside and I got done nannying. This was before I had my license. It was probably January and I was like, okay, I'm not waiting like at their house for half an hour for a ride. I'll just walk home. I'm like freezing. I get home, literally my legs are numb, my hands are numb, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then my dad's like, oh, I gotta go drop off your brother at piano. Can you make dinner? And I'm like, yes, I can make dinner. I got this. Literally the hardest meal I ever made. Okay, we had to make gluten noodles, gluten-free noodles. You had to marinate the stupid chicken. You had to put the bacon in. You had to do all the like. You had to make the sauce. You had to make the assemble it. It was just I don't know how moms do it. Like I was I was talking to my mom and I was like, what's the hardest part about being a mom? And she was like, meal planning. And I was like, I always laughed. I was like, it's not that hard. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, it is. Like,
Seriously. Oh, okay, and a little backstory on that. So, uh, Annie was calling me as this was
oh,
happening.
yeah.
Okay, first of all, she wouldn't have froze to death like outside if she had just like worn warmer clothing. That was her fault.
Well, no,
Um,
no, no, no. Okay, I wore a fall jacket. It was fine.
well, yeah, that was it. I mean, I don't know. I think you said you were wearing sandals or something. I don't know.
They were like sneakers.
Okay, I don't know. But then she said like the snow like got in her shoes or whatever, so her feet were numb anyway. So that's why if you are ever out in the snow, wear winter boots, wear warmer clothing, then you won't freeze to death. But yeah, she said it was a horrible dinner, so or
No,
like
the dinner,
in the process of it.
yeah.
I meant in the process of it, sorry. But
Yeah, I don't know. It was good. Yeah. It is, I don't know. Because like I have this thing where I hate like leaving and then I have like all this stuff that I'm like bringing with me like oh I got my gloves in my hand my coat and I'm like hey if I'm getting a ride I don't need all that and then my dad's like oh yeah you're gonna have to walk home I'm like guys tonight is the night I die but and then it was so funny because like the kids that I nanny their mom texted me and was like Annie did you walk home and I was like yeah and they were like she got so mad she's like I saw it in the doorbell camera next time like you need a ride just let us know and I was like okay but yeah, it was bad. But and then my mom's like, "Well, now you're making me look like a bad parent." And I'm like, "Well,
well,
I don't
pick
know."
me up next time. Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry about our rant. We really need to stop doing that. Anyways, now it is time to interview Lucia. All right, so now it's time to interview Lucia.
Hello.
So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am 13 years old and we live in Ohio. We are traditional Catholics. I grew up in the Nova Sordo. I was actually born in Venezuela and then we moved to Texas where all my younger brothers were born. I'm the oldest of six children. My four younger brothers, and then I have a younger sister. So Ambrose comes after me. He's 11. And then Bernard after him is 9. And then Basil, he's actually making his first Holy Communion on the Solemnity of Corpus Christi and receiving his confirmation this Saturday. And he is 6 years old. And then Xavier is 3. And then Rose is just turned 10 months old.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's really
Was
cool.
not expecting that.
You were born in Venezuela?
Yes. We had
Oh
to
my
go there because of
gosh.
my dad. He was working for Chevron, so we had to move there for a little while. I was like 1.5 when we moved to Texas.
Okay. Wow. How
That's
old were
crazy.
how old were you when you converted to the true faith?
Well, we had lived in Texas for about 7 years, and then we started going to the first mission chapel in Pantego, where Father Stephen McKenna was going. So I was about, I think, 9 years old, and then we moved here to Ohio. We've been here for about 3 years.
Wow, that's a really cool background. That's wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought you were there in Ohio for a lot longer, but
Yeah.
you look like you have been, like you just know everything in the area. That's cool. That's really cool. Um, what are some of your hobbies?
Well, we have a gray cat. We call him Kiki. He doesn't really have a, I guess that's his name. And I like to watercolor, although I haven't done that much because we've been trying to finish up with school. And then I sing in the choir at St. Gertrude. And on Wednesdays, I really like to go help with the sisters in the sacristy. That's probably one of my favorites. And
Okay.
then,
What's your favorite thing to do?
yeah.
What kind of stuff do you do to help the sisters?
Well, just last week, Sister Eulalia gave me a tour, a detailed tour around the sacristy. So she'll have like a checklist with like what needs to be done for the day, and I go there and read the checklist and help her get the things done on there. So like getting the vestments ready for mass and changing the candles out, stuff like that.
Okay. I
Wow, that's
never would
really
have
cool.
guessed that like that was something that you like to do. But I mean, that's good. I mean, that's very good to like being helpful and everything like that. So, yeah, that's cool. Maybe you can take over with the sacristan one for the sacristan one day. Um, that's fun.
So you kind of already answered this, but do you play any instruments or sing at all?
Yes, I do play the piano. I We used to take lessons for a little while, but then we had to pause because our teacher was having a baby, and so we
Oh,
paused. But I mean, I kind of pick up piano by myself anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, and then I sing at St. Gertrude Choir. I'm a soprano.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Nice.
I've known a lot of sopranos in my life. I remember when I went to QAS in Florida for a while, and we had choir practice every morning. Um, I'm not saying that I was great or anything, but the problem was since I was very new and I just don't sing, and for how low my voice is, I'm an alto. And there were only like four other altos, including like my younger brother, and the sopranos took up half the school. So
Oh
we
man.
were greatly outnumbered.
Oh
But
wow.
the Sopranos were always really, really good, and I really liked their singing parts because they got to do all the vibrato and everything, or like just So that must be fun for you. Do you like sing in the choir every Sunday, or is it
Yes,
off
we
and on?
sing. The full choir sings on Sunday, and then we have choir practice on Wednesday nights. And
Mm.
then I mean, most of the choir is the Simpson family. I'm sure you know them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like on Friday evenings they have a low mass, but we'll sing a offertory and communion song. So whoever's there, they can sing that. And then Saturday mornings for the high mass we sing. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun.
Wow. All right. So, what is your favorite like song to sing in the choir? Like, do you have a favorite mass or like a favorite song to sing?
Yes, the I love the Panis Angelicus and the Allegri Miserere we sing during Tenebrae during Lent. We only sing it 3 times a year, and that's the three Tenebrae days. It's pretty awesome. We'll all go into the vestibule, and all the lights will be off in the church. It's like about 8 o'clock at night, and then we'll sing the Allegri Miserere, which is I'm pretty sure it's the longest song. Okay, probably not that long. I think it was like the prettiest song that the church had ever known. And so it was locked up in the Vatican for a while. Like nobody was allowed to steal it or take it. And so this one man listened to the Allegri Miserere 3 times and he memorized every single note. And so that's how we have it today.
What? That is really
Interesting.
awesome.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know I'd be like learning something like that from this interview.
I know.
That's really cool. Yeah. I was just saying this in another podcast. I don't know that many church songs, but I did actually recognize one of the songs that you said. So I mean that's improvement right there.
Good job,
Um,
Gianna.
yeah, right. Thank you. But that's cool. Are you homeschooled?
Yes, we are homeschooled. I really like it and I do not want to go to school at all. I feel like with
Yeah,
homeschool, you can get school done a lot faster.
yeah, totally, 100%. And like the flexibility is really nice. Like we just redid our entire kitchen, so we had to take off like 2 or 3 weeks of school. And if we were going to a school, we wouldn't have been able to do that. So it's just really nice
Yeah.
that you can just kind of take breaks whenever you need. And getting school done really fast is the best part for sure. What grade are you in? Like gonna be going
I'm
into?
I'll be going into eighth grade this year.
Nice. Almost high school. Are you excited for high school or not really?
I mean, I'm just ready to get over with it.
Honestly, yes, that's a good outlook on it.
Yeah, that's where I was at that point in
Yeah.
life.
I was like so excited to go to high school. I thought it was gonna be so fun and you'd be so cool, and then it hit, and I was like, no, I like middle school better. Like I'll go back to middle school.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely easier. Have you been homeschooled your entire life?
Yes, I used to go, well, when I was younger, like 2 or 3 years old, I would go to daycare. And
Mm.
then when I got older, I don't remember if it was a real school or not. I think it was daycare, but I would go to Regina Cayley. It's a Nova Sordo. I'm pretty sure it's a school, but I went there for like a year and then we stopped going because it was getting kind of weird. They moved to like the Protestant church or whatever. So it just,
Oh,
and
Yeah.
ever since then, we've been homeschooled.
okay. Nice.
Yeah. It's always hard, like when you're the oldest, or like, well, yeah, when you're the oldest, you always are the one who's switching around most
The
because your
most,
parents are
yeah.
like trying to figure out, oh, is this good? Nope, it's not. Bring you out of that. And so you get to be around a lot more. You get
Yeah.
a lot more of that experience, but
hmm So, what is your favorite subject in school and your least favorite subject in school?
My favorite is probably grammar.
Mm.
Yeah, grammar, and I also like music a lot. And then my least favorite is math. I am not a math person at all. My
Yeah.
brother is already in the next book ahead of me. I know it's crazy.
What? That's
He's a
wild.
genius with math. Like if I have
Wow.
any questions, I'll just be like, Ambrose, what's so and so and so? And he's like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, oh, okay, thank you. I needed that.
Wow. What like math level is he in this year? Like, is he in algebra yet or no?
No, we do a curriculum called Math UC. So
Okay.
it's kind of, I think it takes longer than like a normal math because it like really
Okay.
explains how everything works, like the formula and everything. So no, we haven't gotten to algebra yet.
All right.
okay,
I
that's
was
good.
gonna say, if you did get to algebra, then or geometry, then your brother should tutor me because it's been rough. But
Oh, my brother, my younger brother Elias is really good at math too, and I've been trying to get him to push up in math a little bit so that like once I get to those things, he can help me with that because he started like I don't know, he did a geometry problem on the side just for fun, like to try to see if he could do it, and he got it right away because he's got like this whole complex way of thinking that I don't understand, and it's really confusing, but he was able to get it. So I'm like, okay, well, now you need to keep that up so that you can help me in the future. Um,
yeah.
yeah, but and it's funny. I think Annie, did you say your favorite was grammar or like one of your favorites?
Yeah, my favorite's like English and grammar and all that stuff, which is hilarious because if you like all of my friends listening who like I talk to on Google Chat or spelling, not spell. Whoa, why did I say spelling? I mean texting. Anyways, they know that I am like the worst at like spelling out words and typing them. Like one of my friends likes to say that to talk to me, you have to learn an entire like another language, and he's not wrong, honestly. So it's yeah, it's funny, but I swear I'm good at English, guys. I can write pretty good book reports.
That's funny. I do not like the whole splitting up sentences and all that. That I don't like.
That yeah, that stuff's rough, but once you
Yeah.
get through it, it's yeah, I don't know.
It, that I feel like is just stupid. Or like diagramming sentences is stupid. I don't
Gosh.
know of everyone who has had to do this before because I know a lot of people who have never done it before in their lives, but it is so stupid.
I
There's
had to
no
do it for
point.
Latin.
Oh,
What?
you did? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't do it for English. I did it for Latin, but I'm sure English was probably way worse.
Yeah, it was bad. So anyway, moving on. Let's see. So we know that you were in the hospital for a long time. Do you want to talk about that at all, or like your experience with that?
Sure. I have some funny stories of what the medicine had effect on me. Like
Oh
we
man.
like one of the medicine I had to take was called steroids. What was it called? Yeah, steroids. And the people in the hospital call it, whenever you take that medicine, they call something roid rage, where for some reason it makes like you get angry. And so I remember, yeah, I remember like in the bed and I was like dreaming of something and I was just feeling so mad. And so I started kicking the edge of the bed. It was the funniest thing. And I woke up in the morning, I was like, why was I kicking the bed? Yeah, and then they came in, oh, it was roid rage. Yeah, and then the it also made me really like hungry for some reason. It was the weirdest thing. And so yeah, it was like every night I would like walk down the aisle and just grab a bowl of cereal because I was so hungry.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then the I had to take another medicine, globulin, something like that. And I would take Benadryl during the day, so I would sleep for like the entire day. And then at nighttime I'd be awake. And it was like 2 a.m. in the morning already. And so my grandmother was staying with me. And so I was really hungry and I was like, let's go downstairs and like walk around. And she's just like already in her pajamas. And so we went downstairs and the police officers that were down there saw us and like, oh, you're going on your midnight stroll again.
That's funny.
That's funny, yeah. 2 a.m. party time, and everyone else is like, no, just go back to bed. But I was sleeping the whole day. Gotta get on
Wow.
my sleep schedule.
You know, that's probably how like babies feel. Like they're like asleep during the entire day and then at night. Like I know my mom's friend just had a baby and he's only like 3 weeks old and she was saying how he likes to wake her up in the middle of the night and I'm like, that's gotta be so annoying. Like you've been tired all day trying to keep them asleep and then they're up at night. Like can't imagine that. But yeah.
Yeah, and then Father McKenna came one time to give me what was the last extreme unction because it can extreme unction can also um help you to get well. It's actually
Mm.
expected. So if you do get well, it's like that was expected of you, which is funny. It's like, oh, miracle. Yeah, we were expecting miracle.
Yeah.
And then he brought me Holy Communion a couple times. Oh yeah, and the day I went to the hospital was the worst storm. I mean, snowstorm that was ever invented. It was crazy. There was like 3 feet of snow on the ground and like cars
Oh
were
wow.
stuck and stuff. Yeah. It was
That's
interesting.
brutal. Wow.
I know it was funny the first
Worst day to go
time
to the hospital.
It was funny the first time I went to the hospital, I really wasn't in much pain. It was the ICU stay where I was like there for like 4 days and I got to go home. But it was the weirdest thing. I had what people call serum sickness. And so it was like my whole body like got like tingly sort of. And if I like just moved my finger a little bit, it would hurt really bad. And so I had to like have people carry me out of the bed and stuff.
Oh wow. That sounds absolutely horrible.
Yeah, it was nuts. The first time we went, I think the reason why I wasn't feeling well is because I had really low blood sugar. No, 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 it was low blood pressure. That's what it was. And so we like got there and I had to sit in a wheelchair because I thought I was gonna pass out. And
Oh
then
my
we
gosh.
and then they're like, yeah, we gotta get you to ICU. And then that was interesting. They came in all these crazy suits. And then I had the chills because I was about to get a fever and it was so bad that the whole bed was shaking.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so then my grandmother's there and I was like, yeah, we should probably call a priest, just in case. And so she was just like, oh, okay. And so they called a priest and by the time I was in the ICU, Father Brueggemann came and gave me Holy Communion.
Mm.
And he gave me the apostolic blessing too. I thought I was gonna be gone. I was like, this is the end. I'm never going back. And they kept giving me fluids to so they had given me medicine, I think it was called vancomycin, and I think that's what caused all that crazy stuff. So they were trying to flush it out with like fluids, but they gave me so much fluids that like I like doubled in size. It was crazy. And like my eyes were leaking and stuff. It was nuts.
That
Wow.
is so bad.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And you're
That was
just smiling
probably
about it.
Yeah, you're just like smiling talking about it. How are you? What?
How
I'd
are
be
you
like
this
scarred if
happy?
all this happened to me.
I don't know. That was interesting.
My goodness, you've been through so much in just
You're,
like a few months than I have an entire lifetime.
yeah. Wow. And you're only 13. Like I can't even imagine. That's just what? That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we're
went
crazy.
sitting
in
at
the
15 and we're babies if we get colds or something.
Yeah, I'm like in my bed like all day because I have a runny nose and you're over here like had to get last rites and you're just like talking about it like it's no big deal. But
Yeah, I went in to the hospital the first day. No, the second day of January, and I came back the day before the last day of January. So basically a whole month there. I was admitted 3 times. I went in the first time. That's when they found out my liver was bad because my eyes were like turning yellow, like the white part of my eyes were turning yellow.
yeah,
And
that's
I was like
crazy.
really pale and stuff. So they brought me in, went to the hospital. They gave me some medicine, thought that it was fine. And then we figured out that it wasn't fine. And the medicine had an effect on me by giving me low blood sugar. I mean, high blood sugar, like 400 and stuff. It was
What?
bad. And so we had to go back. So I had like a tiny little bit diabetes for a while. And then after the second stay, oh yeah, the second stay, they gave me the thymoglobulin stuff, whatever. And then we thought we were fine. And then the last time was the serum sickness business. And then that's when I got into the last rites and all that stuff. That was interesting.
That is horrible.
Insane. What?
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Oh
so
my
you're
goodness.
doing, are you like not still 100% healthy? Or are you doing like way better now?
I'm doing way better now. We're just trying to keep the my levels down because when my
Mhm.
level was high, they were like in the 2000s and stuff.
What?
Yeah. And so we're just trying to keep those down right now. So I still have to take 3 pills. It used to be like 9 or something crazy like that. But now I'm taking 3 pills every day. And um, yeah, the serum sickness, like the thing that made my whole body ache, I had to get like physical therapy and stuff, which was so
Oh,
annoying. We had to like go down to this little thing and they had all these crazy equipment and stuff. Yeah. So I had to do like these exercises and stuff. It drove me crazy.
that's
You
wild.
poor girl. Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
You've been
Yeah.
through
That
so
that's
much. That is crazy. Wow.
this year has been rough for you.
Really rough for you. Off to
I'm
like a
glad you're
horrible
healthy
start.
though.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, you look way better from what your description just was. So, I mean,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
there's
bad.
that. Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Well, I'm glad that everything's going well for you, and we've all
Hmm.
been keeping you in our prayers and
Yeah.
Thank
your
you.
family, of course, and everything. So,
I actually have a funny story about that. So every night, like we say the
oh, yeah.
family rosary, and my dad would like say the intention. And for a while, it was like, okay, the intention for this rosary is for Lucia Constantino. And now to this day, Lucy, who's my little sister, who's 4, like my dad will say the intention, and Lucy will go, and for Lucia. And I don't think she's ever gonna stop doing that. So I told her when we're done with this interview, she wants to come say hi to you. So, because her name's actually Lucia, so they're spelled the same, but they're not pronounced the same. Um, but
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
so yeah, I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, so moving on to a little bit of a happier note. My personal favorite question: do you like pineapple on pizza? Yes or no?
I've actually never had it before, and it sounds disgusting.
What? What? My goodness. When I go to girls' camp, I should bring like a ton of pineapple pizza and just like make everybody there try it, and then I can like keep count of who likes it and who doesn't like it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So far,
Wow.
has a lot of people on these podcasts liked them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say like over 60% say they like it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Surprisingly, I was not expecting that.
yeah, I
Well,
don't
I mean,
know.
I've never tried it. I think I might have tried it once in my lifetime, but that was a long time ago, and I don't remember it.
Wow.
See,
That's
that's another thing this podcast is doing. It's encouraging people to
yes.
go try pineapple on pizza.
It is. Wow.
Yeah, this is always like the terrifying question, but
Mhm.
also fun question if you actually have a positive answer on this.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
but
terrifying like asking priests because we'll just be like, okay, we're talking about something very spiritual. Okay, do you like pineapple on pizza? Like,
good reactions out of it, though. I mean, you saw
yeah.
what Father Larrabee did.
Yeah, Father Larrabee sent us like a meme, and it was like an Italian is forced to watch the first slice of pineapple be put on pizza, and it's yeah,
And
it
he
was
was
really
just
funny.
basically dying. Like,
Yep, yep. It was really funny.
yeah. So yeah, he doesn't like pineapple on pizza. Anyway, yeah. Uh, what is life like going to SGG?
Pretty amazing if you have to ask me. It's very busy, but it's like so like amazing. Like I mean we're at St. Gertrude probably like 3 or 4 times a week. So like we have like Wednesdays are choir practice. That's also the day that I go to help in the sacristy. And then we have Friday evenings are the low mass. Our little group of friends tend to go to the same, we all go to the same masses every week. So
Mhm.
boys will serve like Friday evening mass, so we'll go there. And then Saturdays we sometimes go in the morning, and then we have Sundays. And after Sunday mass in the morning, which is at 9 a.m., we have catechism class. And after catechism class in the evening, 4:45, we have vespers that the boys usually serve. And
Okay.
then every first Friday they do a all-night adoration, going all the way to Sunday. I mean Saturday. And then every first Thursday they have a holy hour for priests and a altar servers day party. And then
Okay.
every first Saturday of the month is sodality meetings, which I'm also a part of. And let's see what else. Yeah, and then this month is probably one of the busiest months because we have confirmations are this Saturday, and
Mhm.
then on Sunday that's Pentecost, and then the week after that is Corpus Christi, and then the week after that we have First Holy Communions, and then the
Wow.
week after that is Trinity Sunday. I don't know if we do anything on Trinity Sunday. But yeah, we're off of catechism class for the summer. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I really like it a lot. I would
Yeah,
never move ever.
that sounds so awesome. Wow.
Yeah. That's really cool and very chaotic. I was
So,
surprised. Honestly, like I'll hear like different things from people who obviously live there, and they're always talking about how like, oh, we're going to church this day, this day, this day, and we're doing something different like every single day. I'm like, how do you even fit that all in?
exactly.
That sounds like crazy, but a lot of fun though.
Hmm.
How far do you live from church?
We're about like 20, 25 minutes away, but with traffic, it's usually half an hour, so 30 minutes. So it's not
Oh, okay.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not
Oh, that's
too
not
bad.
bad. Hmm.
So, on Wednesdays when you're there, like, because you're doing multiple things on Wednesdays, how long do you stay at the church, like every Wednesday?
Well, we usually I have been going at 3:15 to start helping in sacristy, and then all the way to, so there's mass in the evening. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Mass in the evening at 5:10, and then after the mass is choir practice. And then usually after choir practice, we all stay and rollerblade around in the parking lot for a long time. Usually the parents are like, it's time to go, and then they end up talking with Father McKenna, and you know how that goes. And so they end up talking forever.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Wow.
is one of the most accurate responses I've ever heard from
Yep. And you
anybody.
all know how
Yeah,
that goes. That was so good. That was so good.
we all know. I mean, Father McKenna is so very nice and so very outgoing. You could stay for hours, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially when you get the Midwestern goodbyes, like that's
Oh
just gonna
man.
take forever.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
I remember one time my mom was telling me it was like so up here in like the winters it gets really cold. And one day after Father McKenna was here, all the kids had gone to bed and it was just my dad and father and they father had to leave because we had mass in the morning or something, but my dad walked him out of his car and then they just stood out there for like 45 minutes talking in the freezing cold. And I was like, at this point, just go back inside the house. Like you all know you're not leaving for a while. But yeah.
That's funny. Yeah,
It's
that's happened
crazy.
multiple times.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I know it's so wonderful. Like we have the choir, and like the school choir will sing. Oh, school's off now, but they would have the school choir in the mornings, and they have vespers every day. Oh yeah, that's another thing. On after for vespers, me and one of my other friends, Claire Smith, we have been singing with the sisters for vespers, so that's been a lot of fun. I think I pretty
Nice.
much memorized the first part so far. I'm trying to memorize the whole thing, but it's not easy at all.
Yeah, I can imagine. Wow.
Yeah, it takes time. Memorization takes time. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really fun.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, what is girls' camp like from a camper's perspective? Because we've asked like the sisters about it and stuff, but we want to know what is it like from your perspective?
Well, so we begin the day at I think it starts at 8:20 a.m. We go to high mass, and some of the girls and girls camp will sing for the mass with the sisters. And so we'll sing the high mass, and then after that we usually have breakfast and then like an introduction, like, okay, this is girls camp. Let's make sure we have everyone. And then we will eat breakfast. And then after breakfast, we usually have an activity for the day. So last year the older girls did biking and the little girls went to a fun jump house. So we all will pack up in the vans and we'll head out. And then usually we bring lunch with us. And then after that, oh, no, no, we go there and then we come back to St. Gertrude. We eat lunch there. And there's usually another activity. So last year we all went to the pool at a big family's house. That was a lot of fun. And then, yeah, they have like all sorts of games to do for these different activities while you're doing it. And then we went back to St. Gertrude, and the younger girls, I think you have to be 12 in order to spend the night. So the younger girls, we usually go home and then come back in the morning, but the older girls stay. We usually have an escape room at night, and then we have a bonfire, and then we have an extremely messy marshmallow s'mores thing that just gets a disaster. And we eat dinner and then we all go to bed, but we end up like staying till like 10 o'clock at night, rollerblading in the parking lot with the in the pitch black. One of the dads will usually stay up all night in his truck, like watching, like to make sure nobody comes, because we all camp out on the church property in tents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day they have a different like activity. And on the last day, we put on a performance that's really fun. And afterwards, we all eat pizza. I mean, eat ice cream because the whole parish will usually show up for the performance we do. It's usually either a puppet show or like an actual play. I think this year is going to be a real play. And then we usually do a song that we sing all together. So far, I've been the main character for all of the girls' camps I have attended to, except for the second one because I got sick and had to go home. That was interesting. I like got sick at the very end, like right before we did the performance. So I was like, oh, we gotta
That's
go.
so sad.
Yeah, that sounds really fun though. You
It's a
said the
lot of fun.
whole parish comes for the
Okay, probably
like
not the whole parish, but like
so
all the
there's a lot of
um
people that come for
yeah,
that?
there's a
Oh
lot of
man,
people. But yeah, they
this
like
is making me
set up all the
nervous.
chairs. They like set up all the
Oh.
chairs and all the adults will come and sit down with their kids. And then usually the little kids will go first. They'll have their little performance or song they do. It's usually a song.
Okay.
A couple years ago they did Old MacDonald Had a Farm with like puppets and stuff.
Oh,
And then
that's
after
cute.
that, then the girls will sing. We usually have a song we sing. Last year we did the Dona Nobis Pacem. That was interesting. And then and then we usually have a play or something we do. So last year we did a play and I was the main character and I had to memorize a lot of lines. Which,
Wow.
yeah, we made the bishop laugh a couple times. It was hilarious.
Oh,
I
that's good. Yeah.
you gotta keep your streak going for being the main character every year. I hope you get the
Yeah.
main role this year
Yeah.
again. That'd be
Yeah.
so fun if you just get the main role every year until you're like 18 or whatever. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Fingers crossed on this year. Like, don't get sick, don't get sick. I get the
Don't
main
get
role.
sick.
Yeah.
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 Gianna and I are actually gonna come this year, and now that you said the whole parish might be there, like, wait, so they're gonna have to hear me sing?
It's a big group of girls though, so
Okay, okay, good.
although last year I had to sing a part and I was like the only one who really knew that part, so you could only really hear me in that part, which is interesting. But yeah, at least it was alto. So I didn't have to like be really loud or anything.
Wow.
It's good. It's fine, Annie. Annie, you can sing. Like, you can actually sing. You're fine.
See, what I'm imagining would happen is I would just drop out and I will let Lucia do the rest of the singing for the entire group. Just kidding. But yeah, so I
You
don't
guys are
know.
gonna love it. It's probably I used to go to another girls' camp. I mean, I still do every year. I'm not going this year though because we'll be busy, but it's a lot of fun. This is probably like the best girls' camp ever. If you ask me, it's my favorite.
Yeah, that
That's
sounds really
good.
fun. Yeah.
It's very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, what is your favorite religious holiday?
Oh boy. Um, Honestly, probably the Pentecost season, like this month, is actually probably my favorite because it's like every week is something different, but like it's really unique to that specific thing. So we'll have like confirmations and Holy Communion, but like different weeks. So it's everything is another week. I think that's probably my favorite. Pentecost and Holy Week too. Holy Week is one of my favorites.
Nice.
I'm glad. Okay, this is gonna sound bad, but I'm actually kind of glad you had a different response because I understand Christmas and like Easter are the biggest holidays and people do the most for that. But I was like, I was really hoping like one of these interviews, I'm like, somebody have a different response, somebody have a different holiday. I'm like, just to mix it up a bit. But I mean,
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, Pentecost is cool. Yeah.
Mhm. And I know like when you think about it, Pentecost is like technically the most important like holiday for like the church
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's like the birthday of the church. And the reason it's not so big, I probably said this before, is because like the world can make Christmas super big because they have Santa Claus and all that stuff, and they can make Easter really big because they have like the Easter bunny, but there's like nothing you can really do to
It's the
make
church.
Pentecost secular because it's literally just about the church. And so that's why it's not as big anymore, but for Catholics it's always like a really big deal. I remember last year because we don't get mass or anything for Pentecost or any of those big holidays, but my mom bought us all rosaries, and it's like the prettiest
Oh,
rosary
wow.
I have ever seen, and I love it so much. So I want to convince her to do it again this year. We'll see. So mom, if you're listening to it, you should buy me another one of those.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
hmm So what is your favorite liturgical season?
Um, Probably like Paschaltide, Holy Week, probably Holy Week.
Yeah.
Of all the Tenebrae and like the the um the processions like with Monday, Thursday, and Palm Sunday. Those are probably my favorite. And
hmm
like Good Friday, it lasts all day. Like it starts at like 8 or I think it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning and it goes all the way to 3 o'clock, and then you have like 2 hour break, and then it's t Tenebrae again, which has the Allegri Miserere and the clackers and all that stuff.
Wow. Yeah, I watched the live streams for like SGG's Holy Week. I think my family's gonna try to go next year. We'll see if it happens, but that'd be really fun to go to. I also like enjoy watching my siblings trying to sit through all of that because our masses here are like so short. Not okay, they're the same length, obviously as like masses at SGG, but like we have way less people, so it's just so I'd want to see how my siblings would sit through all that. But yeah, it'd be really pretty to be able
You
to go
guys
to.
would love it. You guys should just come to for all of Holy Week. It's
I really want
awesome.
to. Honestly, I want to just like move there entirely, just
I
like convince
know.
my parents to move us there. But yeah, then I don't know.
What's your favorite mystery of the Rosary?
Probably the Agony in the Garden and the Assumption. I don't know. I've just always liked the Assumption ever since I was little, and then I just recently liked um the Agony in the Garden because I don't know. I actually have no idea why I like those.
Yeah,
Probably 'cause-
those are
Yeah.
good ones.
yeah.
Mm, yeah, I feel like most younger kids obviously don't really like the sorrowful mysteries just because, it's sad and when you're a kid everything just needs to be happy. Um, but it is like once you get older and then once you start finding out like really the meaning of it and then how you can like kind of relate to it in a way, you start to like it a lot more. I mean, I was the same way. Like I just did not like doing the sorrowful mysteries when I was younger. Now I actually do because I find it easier to meditate on than the happier ones.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
feel like it's
that's just
easier to pray whenever you're sad.
Yes,
yeah.
totally.
I know.
Like I don't know if this is everybody, but I find like it's very hard to like not concentrate, like meditate on the glorious mysteries because I don't know, it's just like you said, it's easier to pray when you're sad. But it's crazy that you said like kids like happier things, which is true. But the other day Lucy walked up to my mom, my little 4-year-old sister, and was like, "Mom, I had a dream that Jesus died on the cross." And my mom was like, "What? I'm sorry, that's very sad." And then Lucy goes, "It's okay, I got to see Mary." And my mom was like, "What are you talking? Like that is." I was like, "What?"
That's crazy.
That's
I
really
know.
neat.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Lucy's interesting. She just like she's very unpredictable. So there's that. But
She is.
yeah, she comes up and it's just funny because she
She'll
just
just
comes
start.
up to you and she'll start talking about anything. It's like, what?
Yeah,
That goes on in your little 4-year-old head? Like
I
what?
know. It's insane. Or like,
Yeah.
so my little brother Sammy got really sick for a while, and well, we didn't know what was going on with him because he has like a hard time with some physical stuff. As we're doing all these testing things, and my brother Elias really likes to write songs, so he wrote a song about Sammy, and then Lucy randomly comes up to me the other day and goes, Annie, did you know why we wrote Sammy's song? And I was like, why did we write Sammy's song, Lucy? And she goes, because everybody thought Sammy was going to die. And I was like, what? It
Dang,
was,
girl.
I was like, whoa there, that is crazy. But
Yeah.
It's funny.
I
yeah.
don't know. Did any of your brothers ever come up to you and say, "Oh, you're gonna die"?
I don't think so, but the youngest two, Xavier and Basil, they are nuts. My dad calls them the wildebeests because they're just crazy. My favorite is whenever they start, like they'll start, like they'll get hurt and then they'll be like really upset, and then the person who hurt them will hurt themselves, and they think it's funny, and then they get along okay. Does that ever happen
What?
with your siblings?
Yeah,
Oh
or
my
we'll be
goodness.
like,
Yeah.
here, you can slap me because so we don't tell mom. You can slap me so we don't tell mom. Or like stuff like that.
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
Well,
that
like,
happens a lot.
yeah.
yeah, the other day I was sitting, so we were on our way to music class, and then there's like this whole thing where Elias has to go in first, and then Bennett and I go in afterward because the classes are at different times, but they're like right next to each other. So we were just sitting in the car, and we were talking about health issues for some reason with my mom. I don't know why,
Okay.
but I don't remember how it came up. Maybe it was me. I don't know. But Bennett was talking about how a few months ago he had like this really bad chest pain or like right in the heart area, and he had it at night like for a few nights in a row, I guess. I don't know. But and then he was like I couldn't figure out what it was, and my mom was like you probably had heartburn or something, and he's like oh, I thought I was gonna die or something. And but then Bennett was like, "Yeah, I started complaining about my problems to Elias, and Elias just started laughing at me." And Bennett's like, "It actually hurts." And then when like Elias is having problems or like he hurt himself, Bennett will start laughing at him, and then Elias will start laughing at Bennett because Bennett's laughing at him. And I'm like, "What? That doesn't even make any sense."
That's just boys for you right there. Like if I
Yeah.
was like telling like Gianna, for example, if like something was like wrong or I was like hurting and she started laughing, I'd like never recover. Like that's just
Yeah, or like if somebody accidentally hurts somebody else, they like automatically like hit themselves to see if that actually really hurt or not.
Yes.
yeah.
hmm It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, boys are an interesting breed.
Oh
Um,
yeah, for sure. Boys are very interesting. Certain boys
yes.
especially.
Oh
Um
yeah. I mean, they probably think the same thing about girls, but I feel
for sure.
like girls are just complicated and boys are just weird. Like
Yeah. Girls just have big emotions and boys just
they're just
yeah,
weird.
they're just weird. Anyways. So, what is your favorite religious book?
Probably Preparation for Death is my favorite. And the I'm trying to remember the way it goes. I think it's Mysteries, Marvels, and Miracles. It's like this really big book all about like just mysteries, marvels, and miracles of the saints. It's pretty awesome.
Nice.
It had some really neat pictures in it. That's those two are probably my favorites.
That's really cool. Do you know who
Wow.
they're written by?
Oh, I know it. Oh, I don't remember.
Okay, that's fine. I was just
That's
curious.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised when you said preparation for
Preparation
death.
for
I mean,
death.
I
Yeah.
know you've had a near death experience, but I mean that's still scary to even
Think
contemplate.
about.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I
It's
mean
Wow.
not
that's
it's
good
not
that you can do
just
that.
it's not just about death. It's like basically everything that a good Catholic should know. So like it starts with like meditating on like what the body looks like after death, and then the judgment, and then it goes into like a description of hell and then heaven, and then like the eternity of both of those, and then Holy Communion and then prayer and then Our Lady. It just kind of
Yeah.
does everything. It's really good. That one I know is by
Oh,
Alphonsus Liguori.
Okay.
oh, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard it now. Wow. Now that you say that, I sound dumb. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have like every single chapter has like a couple prayers that he made himself, and they're so good. Those are probably my favorite prayers ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some of them that he wrote out, and I'm like, he was so good. Like,
I
Yeah.
know.
yeah,
I couldn't write like
Could
that.
never do that.
no, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's one time I was at summer camp, but it was for music and it wasn't what I thought it would be, and I got super sick there, and the people there were just not pleasant individuals. So I called my parents and told them to pick me up early, and I had like a lot of downtime because the camp was like on the border of like Canada. And we live pretty close to that, but so they where was I going with this? I keep losing my train of thought. Anyways, so I had a lot of downtime and I was like laying in my bed and I tried to write a prayer and it took me like half an hour and all I got was my Jesus and I just capped it there. I was like I can't do this. How do the Saints do it? It's yeah, I don't know. It was bad, but
That's funny. Yeah. Or it's like ever since I was younger, I've always struggled with like, so after communion time, like immediately after you do like your own kind of prayer, like you're just
yeah.
talking to God, and I always struggle with that because I'm like, I don't know what to say. Like I do so much better when it's like everything is written out for me and I just say that, but I know that's like
Yeah.
obviously not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to actually talk like words from your heart, but I'm like, I have no words from my heart. I have no words for anything. They need to be written down. But
Yeah.
That's funny.
yeah.
I'm the complete opposite.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
Well, that's good. Is it your turn? Oh, it's my turn. I'm sorry. Um, who is your favorite saint?
Okay, I have four saints and I don't like any of them over each other. They're Saint Rose of Lima, she's my confirmation saint, and then Saint Catherine of Siena and Blessed Lucia Brocadelli. You probably have never heard about her. She's the saint I was named. I mean the blessed I was named after. It actually wasn't Lucy with the two eyes. It was her. She was a Dominican, a third order Dominican, and she was married at one point. She like flew and all that crazy stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she actually, whenever I think she was either 12 or no, I think she was like a teenager. I don't remember how old she was. I think she was 13. And her dad wanted her to get married. And so they had this like big party come over, this big party. And the person that he wanted her to marry had a ring already for her. And so he like proposed to her and she slapped him in the face and ran upstairs.
Oh my goodness.
That
Yeah.
is crazy.
I
Oh
know.
my
She
goodness.
eventually ended up did getting married because she wanted to be obedient, but yeah.
Did she marry the guy
Wow.
she slapped?
I don't think so. I think she married somebody else later.
Okay.
I
That would have,
wouldn't.
wow, that'd be
I
so funny.
like that.
Tiana's like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do when I get proposed to. Just kidding.
Yeah. I didn't know she had such a sassy personality.
Yeah.
I kind of like it, but
And
that's
then
cool. Yeah,
Saint
I've never
Imelda.
heard of her before. That's interesting. I want to look her up now after this.
Yeah, when she was little, she went to her uncle's house and it was like a big mansion and the stairs were like needed repair. So she wanted to go upstairs because there was this one room that had a lot of paintings of angels in it. So she was just kind of like looking up the stairs and then suddenly she just flew up there. And then when she got into the room, Our Lady, our Lord, and a bunch of other saints appeared to her and he had and they did a mystical marriage up there. It was really cool. He gave her
Wow.
a ring, and nobody else could see the ring except her.
Oh
That's
wow,
so
that's really
awesome.
cool.
I
That
know.
sounds
Wow.
like what Saint Catherine of Siena had. Like, didn't she have
Hmm.
an invisible ring too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
really cool.
And then Blessed Imelda is my last favorite, with
Okay.
the first communion saint.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow. That's really cool.
I know.
Actually don't know that much about Blessed Imelda, even though I had a teacher named after her one time, or like Sister Mary Imelda, whatever. Um, I don't know. My teacher was really nice, but all I know about her is the First Communion Saint. So I need to do some more research on that too. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's a at least in heaven, I think, because I'm pretty sure she was made a saint by one of the anti-popes.
Oh
And
That's
so, but I
sad.
wow.
think I think she was a blessed by Saint Pius the Tenth. I think.
Okay, then that's official then.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
That's
good.
good.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right. So now we're wondering what is your temperament, if you know.
I know that my main one is phlegmatic.
Okay.
Some people say I'm phlegmatic sanguine, some people say I'm phlegmatic melancholic, but I'm kind of both, but I can also be pretty choleric sometimes because
Okay.
I like to film movies a lot, just like tiny little scenes and I can get pretty choleric in those moments.
Okay,
I'm a
that's
good
good
actor.
though, that
Yeah.
you're just like a mix of all of them. That's what you want to be. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I would have guessed from talking to you, you would have been like a phlegmatic
Melancholic.
sanguine.
Yeah,
Oh, I
that's
was
What?
thinking,
interesting.
I was
I was
thinking
thinking
melancholic.
sanguine.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
I know.
melancholic. I
Seems
don't
like a
know.
mix.
That's funny.
Well, that's interesting.
Hmm.
I did not think we would have differing thoughts on them.
Well, for me, like sanguines, I don't know if it's just because me and my dad, but like I guess you could say there's like different levels of sanguine. Like for example, my somebody who goes to our church, the person who's in the choir with me, she is like very soft spoken and very nice, but she's very social. And then there's me and my dad, and we're just like up here all the way like crazy, just but like Lucia didn't strike me as that kind of person, so I was like, oh, she must
Yeah.
just not be sanguine. Um,
Oh yeah.
That's
No,
funny.
I get that. That makes sense. Yeah. Most sanguines I've met, I guess they're more like full-blown sanguine, like my cousin.
mhm.
He is
Sam.
totally sanguine. Yeah, Sam. Okay. He is so very sanguine. He has no other temperament.
I love that.
He'll
I
just
love
come
Sam.
up
He's
and
so
talk to
awesome.
anybody.
That's funny.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was funny.
I think I'm just saying on because I like well my mom says that I talk a lot, so that's probably where my sanguine is. And then I'm pretty melancholic throughout the day, but when I start talking, it's kind of hard for me to stop.
Oh yeah.
For the same.
That's how my mom is. Like she's melancholic, but in certain groups, she is very sanguine. She's
Yeah,
very
same.
comfortable. Yeah,
Nice.
but
I couldn't imagine that every group. I'm just like, but no, 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 but
I know. Yeah, like my cousin, my aunt was just telling me a story about that where they went down to Arizona for a while and like they're just visiting there and she said Sam came up to her because he was off like talking to somebody and he came up to her and he's like, "Hey mom, my friend's here." And she just assumed that he had just like befriended some random person in Arizona. It turns out it was actually one of his friends that was visiting from Wisconsin that they didn't know was going to be down there. But yeah,
what?
that just shows you. He'll just talk to anybody. Like, it doesn't matter. He'll just go up and start a conversation with you, and it can be something totally random. Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, my brother Ambrose is kind of like that, except for he probably won't really start conversations. He's not afraid to say what he thinks. So it's
Mm.
really
Oh, yeah.
awesome though, because he said he wants to be like a priest when he gets older, which is pretty awesome because they went, all the boys went together to Tennessee with my dad for some work trip or something. And my dad turns around and he just sees Ambrose say really loudly in front of these guys who are Protestants. And he goes, "Yeah, our Lord is truly pleasant present in the Blessed Sacrament." And I was just like, "Whoa, okay, Everest." But yeah,
That's
it's
funny.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
on
See,
that
he's
right now.
spreading the word. Yeah.
he already is. He's already gonna be a great priest.
I
Yeah.
know. It's funny because my Bernard, he comes right after Ambrose. He's a complete opposite. He is the shadow of my dad. He just copies him 100%. He'll just be like watching my dad and like just do the same movements and everything. It's hilarious. So my dad's cleric melancholic. Yeah, so Bernard is cleric too, which is funny though because
Oh,
me and Bernard get along really well, which is
Oh,
the weirdest thing.
that's funny.
that's awesome.
Me and my cleric brother were either like best friends or worst enemies. It just like depends on the day, kind of.
Yeah, that's the same with us.
Well, you know how like brothers are, especially when you like become like a little bit older of a teenager. Like one time they were annoying me so bad when I was trying to do school and I like blew up at them and was like, "Is your only purpose in life to annoy me?" And they were like they looked at each other and just laughed and were like, "Yeah." Like but
Whoa.
Oh well.
yeah, I mean obviously after getting to heaven, but I guess their second purpose in life is to annoy Annie. So, yeah, I can't wait till I move out. Just kidding.
Yeah.
My two youngest, I mean, my two littlest siblings, Xavier and Basil, they both like to sing. And so, like, if we sang a song during Sunday Mass that Javi really knows, we call him Javi because Spanish, Xavier's Javier. So we just call him
Mhm.
Javi for short. Um, yeah, so he'll just come into a room and he's just singing like the Allegro Miserere at the top of his lungs and is like, "Ah," and it
No.
just come in the room and start singing like the Tarot Tremuit or something.
That's funny.
And he's three.
Oh, what?
Oh, that's even
Wow.
better.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's usually
That's
off key, but it's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
My,
He's
my
sang.
brother Elias is 12, almost 13, and he likes to sing too. at certain times that he probably like it's just weird too, and it's very like he can be off key. I mean on key, but like he prefers to be off key when he's singing. I don't know why. It's just like something he does. Like, he'll start like whistling, and then walk into the bathroom, and then you can just hear it's like start singing at the top of his lungs. I'm like, okay. And then he'll come back and everything's back to normal again. It's just weird. But
That's funny.
he likes to sing a bunch of different songs. Any song he has stuck in his head, he'll start singing that. Or like, what was it? Um, one of the Christmas movies we were watching one time, Home Alone, the song at the beginning or whatever, like the da da, like he kept singing that for months on, and my dad was like, "Are you done yet?"
That's actually so funny. Wow.
Yeah. So, a new question, but do you prefer dresses or skirts?
I don't really have a preference. I probably wear more skirts at home and save the dresses for church, but I mean,
Mm,
I don't really mind either. If I had to choose, I would probably pick skirts. Probably, I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, as long as it's modest, I don't care.
Honestly, yeah. I mean,
It's not a
I pers
pain.
what were you gonna say?
It's not a pain at all to wear skirts
Yeah.
and dresses.
No,
It's
yeah.
wonderful.
I honestly probably prefer skirts just 'cause I don't know. When you're like, especially me, I like care so much about fashion, which is not good, but I do. And I feel like when you wear skirts, you can like match them with like cute tops or whatever. So, I don't know. But
Yeah,
yeah.
it's funny. I wear skirts a lot more than I do dresses, but I actually don't really like wearing skirts as much just because I have so much trouble finding something that will actually match with it.
Mhm.
So that's the opposite for me. But I actually do wear skirts like a lot more often. Um, but yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. All right. Are you a night owl or an early bird?
Kind of both. I usually go to bed at night, like at around 10:30, and then I get up at 5:45 to
What?
read my to read for my reading school book, and then for about an hour, and then we all go downstairs at 6:45 to say the rosary, and then that's when we start our day. So kind of both. I've gotten pretty used to the schedule now.
Goodness, that's wow. That is crazy. I am completely the opposite. Like just because I don't know when you're like up alone at night, it's just so peaceful. And then like I wake up at like 10, but I don't I'm gonna change that, but it also is like horrible because this week started like my summer work schedule and I'm working a lot in the morning. And so I have to like be up ready in my car by like 8:30 and I'm just like I'm not gonna be able to do this all summer. So I should start doing what you do. That'd probably benefit me a lot. But
Yeah, the first couple nights it's pretty tough because you're like, it's fine. I'm just gonna sleep for like another hour and then I'll be good. But then when you do that, you don't get used to it.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's very true.
We have this massive bell that my dad has to ring. Well, we don't really ring it much because we'll wake up the other kids, but he'll usually ring it pretty loud, and it's a big bell, and that's when you know it's rosary time. Sometimes he'll give it to the toddlers, which is not a good thing because they each get a turn and they ring it as loud as they can.
That's
Yeah, I can
funny.
only imagine what the toddlers would be doing with that.
It's yeah,
That's
it's interesting.
just mind blowing. Usually
Yeah.
my dad's like the one who gets up earliest. Like, we stayed overnight in a hotel recently because we were visiting another part of Wisconsin. But and I woke up earlier because it was maybe around 5:45 because my dad was up and he was going out of the hotel room. But my dad just wakes up like that. Like he only has like 6 hours of sleep every night and he's fine. Like he can last through the day. Obviously he has a lot of caffeine. As you might notice if you went out with him. But it's crazy. And then the boys will wake up at like 7 every morning, but which I don't understand either. But everyone it's a better sleep schedule.
Yeah.
My dad does that. He'll wake up at 6:30 and he does his like meditation and prayer for like 15 minutes and then we have the rosary. Oh yeah, we say the rosary and then after that my mom will usually leave with the baby and my dad will read us the liturgical year, like the day for that day. and it's pretty neat. Sometimes he'll read the Lives of the Saints, so it's kind of like our catechism time.
Yeah, that's nice.
Cool. Yeah, and bright and early too.
Yeah, that must be nice. I should start doing that.
Yeah.
It's funny because like you're awake, like at the time that you're awake, I'm still in bed for 5 more hours, so that feels I should
Yeah,
maybe change that. Um, that's only
yeah, that's
that's
good.
only for the summer though, like because like summer officially started, so like me and my siblings are just like sleeping, and I'm sure like in a couple weeks I'll be like back at it. But yeah, so
Yeah. I remember it's actually I noticed that like if I do like reading or like spiritual reading in the morning, it's actually I retain more than like
hmm
if I do it at night. And it's
yeah,
funny because I remember one of my teachers at QAS, she would always tell us like, "Oh, you should do your spiritual reading in the morning." And then she was like, "Well, you could do it at night, but it's probably better in the morning." And I'm like, "I'm just gonna do it at night." And then I started doing it in the morning. I'm like, I'm actually retaining a lot more if I just do it in the morning.
I know.
yeah,
But
I should start
yeah.
doing that. All
All
right.
right.
So, oh, is it my turn or your turn?
My turn. This
My
time I
bad. My
remembered.
bad. That's my
There
bad.
we go. Yeah, this happens all the time. Yeah, so anyway, for our last question, if you could go back in time and meet one saint, which saint would you meet and why?
Probably St. Catherine of Siena because I would want her to tell me about her, like her experience with like her marriage with our Lord. And also I'd want to get like some really good advice and like how to become a saint. Because like, I mean,
Yeah.
oh, that was crazy. She's like slept in her room. I know she lived in her room for 3 years, never left. Like the priest will
That's
like
right.
come
Yeah.
to her. I know. That's
Yeah.
probably her.
Wow.
Yeah, she's very good, very impressive. I think, yeah, that'd be a really good one to go back to. And yeah, I feel like it would be really interesting to like ask somebody like, "Oh, what is your marriage like with Christ? Like, how is that for working out for you?" Like, I mean, obviously it's working great, but
Yeah.
How do you go through all that, like all the emotional problems, especially like whenever your parents or whoever starts making fun of you because they think you're lying and stuff? Like, how
yeah,
do you go
Yeah.
through all of that? It's hard to not defend yourself.
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Like even with simple things, like if they like spilled something on the table and they like asked who did it, they would like just stay quiet and they wouldn't. No. They would say I did it, and then if it was like for like they did it for a good reason, they wouldn't explain the reason why. They would just be humble about it, which I don't know how they do that.
Yeah. No idea. It's wild.
It's crazy. It's crazy good. But yeah.
All right.
This
Well, that was our last question, and thank you so much for coming on. Do you have anything else to add before we let you go?
I don't think so. Thank you for letting me be on this podcast.
Yeah, it was
Thanks for
really fun.
coming on.
hmm All right. So that wraps up this episode, and thank you guys so much for listening.
Um, next episode we will most probably have someone from the Catholic couples on. Annie, what the heck are you doing with your hair?
No, no, no. Okay.
Um, we'll probably have someone from the Catholic couples on. If you are listening, I apologize because we put you through so much hassle just trying
To
to get a
getting you
date
on.
and a time. It was horrible.
Felt so bad.
Annie's a big fan of you. That's the main reason why we're doing this is because Annie really wants to talk to you. But uh, so yeah, but they're on the Catholic Family Podcast, so if you want to go check out their channel, you go ahead and do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So that's it for today.
Yep. All
Okay.
right. Sorry, but okay. When I get bored, I have this thing where I like so I usually have my hair half up, half down just because I think it looks cute and like I like take the back of my pony or my bun and I like put it in front of my face and then it makes me look so dumb. And I started doing that. I should not think Gianna was gonna say anything and then it said it. She goes, "What do you think are you doing with your hair?" And I'm like, "Oh crap, she noticed." But
Of course I noticed I'm talking and looking right at you. Um,
I suppose.
yeah. Oh, I know.
Anyways.
She does such weird things. Or like one of the times she kept dropping stuff on the floor. Somehow her earring fell on the floor, and then she dropped a pen on the floor one time, and then I did the same thing where I dropped my phone on the floor because I think I just set it down on the edge of my laptop, and then it like flipped off and cracked on the carpet. It cracked
What?
on the carpet. It
What
didn't
the?
crack on like it doesn't crack on concrete for some reason because I've
Cracks on the
dropped it
carpet.
several times on like concrete or off a ladder or something like that.
My goodness.
Um yeah, but no, it cracked on the carpet.
That
That
is so
is
dumb.
yeah, anyway, but
Wow. I mean, I dropped a pen this interview. I don't know. I'm like very fidgety. Like I always have to have something in my hand. I'm very weird like that. I
yeah.
don't know. One episode I started playing with my straw. I remember that.
Um,
And I cut the part out where you started laughing, but I was like, I took my straw out of my water and was just like playing with it. But anyways, hope you have an amazing week. Hope you have a great Pentecost, and as always, God bless and Saint Philomena,
Oh God,
pray for
pray for
us.
us.